Welcome back, everybody. Live in San Diego, California, this is Nerdrotic. Welcome, everybody. Mark Santos, Deviceology, Selena Kyle, Uncle Remus, Eskimono Phono, and Nina and Dean and Giovanna. Good morning. I'm waiting for Jeremy to come down. He's on his way down from Anaheim. And we are going to go down to Comic-Con for a couple more hours because I am torched. But I have some super chats I have to get to from last night when my $4.99 a day internet cut out right at the end of a live stream. So I was talking about the Picard trailer. So we will continue talking about the Picard trailer. We were also getting your thoughts on the Orville going to Hulu. And it doesn't look like it looks like right now it's on track to be out fall 2020. So not December. So that's good. That's a good thing. And there, I could actually make about 9 videos today. There's so many topics, but the one video that it's going to be out tomorrow morning, I'm going to do a breakdown of the Picard trailer. So that'll be out probably about 10 tomorrow because I'm going to cut it after the Inquisition tonight. So the Inquisition is tonight, 6 p.m. on Overlord DVD's channel, Doomcock, and it's going to be a good one tonight. It's going to be a hot one tonight. So it could go for hours. We'll see. But there is somebody we have to meet at Jeremy and I have to meet at Comic-Con because she has done a lot of work promoting our channels, and we need to say hi and say thank you. Yes, the Inquisition is tonight. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. It has been fun. I have had a great time because as with all things, it's not really about the event. It's about who you're with. So Jeremy and I we've met a lot of members of the Fandom Menace. That was brilliant. And met Mike S. Miller. I have not found Robert Meyer Burnett, but he's a busy guy working panels. You know, here I'm just a simple man in a Motel 6 in a 5x5 room that mirrors a prison cell, and it's echoey and it's orange. At least I have an orange background, which is good. Shopping has been kind of light, though. I've got to say, the toys, yes, a pesky time difference. The toy selection there has been meh. You know, if you're into pop vinyls, I guess con is the place to go. I am not. There's one booth. It's a guy named Mark. He's been going to Comic-Con in the early 90s, maybe more. And he sells Migos, old G.I. Joes, old Kenner Star Wars, like my stuff. My kind of stuff. I'm just a man in a can. Yes, Nihilist. That's what I feel like. So let's catch up with some of the super chats from yesterday, which are on topic, by the way. So one says, love new orange wall. Anyone recognize you? For Mr. Roboto for $2. Greetings, Mr. Roboto. Yes, that was bizarre, to say the least. Now, I got recognized more because people would recognize Jeremy first and then go, oh, Nerdrotic. I was also rocking my Nerdrotic shirt. Yeah, I wear my own swag. Today it's Hitchhiker though. It's a casual day. I'm wearing shorts because it was hot, and it doesn't show it on the camera, but I am completely sunburnt right now. I did not wear my sunscreen yesterday. Mrs. Nerdrotic got on my ass about that. Michael Maloney saw a review today. Basically, what's GE? Basically, GE Galaxy's Edge. Okay, basically Galaxy's Edge. Duh. Is a pay to enter shopping mall. Nothing for kids to do. Not really. There isn't. There's the one ride that's working, and there's one show, and it's a Kylo Ren show. And there's nothing to stay in there for unless you want to buy some porgs. There is sections of it that look pretty cool. And then there's wide open sections where there's nothing. It seems like a lot of wasted space. Now, it was brought up that they might be playing the long game and want to put other things in. If it were me, and I was spending $1 billion on this. So say I'm Bob Iger. I need to be a lot. I need to get a tan, a constant tan, play a lot of golf probably, which I play golf. I do. I suck at it, but I play golf. And and work, and make billions every day. I would make sure every square inch was Star Wars, prequel Star Wars, original trilogy, and your new trilogy stuff. It would be everywhere. My favorite thing that they did away with at the Indiana Jones ride, besides the ride itself, was when you were standing in line, they gave you a little card and you can decode the walls and stuff. When you're waiting in line for Galaxy's Edge, most of the line you're outside. There's no screens playing. There's no John Williams music being played. They're not showing any scenes from any of the movies, even the new ones. So it seems like a bit of a rush job. Maybe they'll do that later, but why not just wait? Then wait till your second ride is finished. So I'm not sure what I'm allowed to talk. I'm gonna, you tell me something, unless you say don't say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm on YouTube. So one person said that they decided to focus on Disney, on Galaxy's Edge on Disney World now that Disneyland's is open, to get the second ride open. You guys might even know this. This was news to me anyway. So the other ride, which I don't know the name of, is going to be open first. And they decided to focus on that because of technical issues. They're trying to do something new. They're trying to make it wireless. And we'll see if that works out. We'll see if that works out. I don't want to criticize the Imagineers too much because they do a lot of good work at the rest of the park. I mean, the rest of the park is great. But Galaxy's Edge is a huge disappointment. It's a huge disappointment to me. That's it. If that, hurts some people's feelings, well, I'm awfully sorry that you care that much what I think about a ride, that's all it is. It's one ride. So thank you, Michael Maloney, for the $5. Dio Brando, we should get the Orville producer on the podcast. I would love to have him on the podcast, and maybe we will. Maybe we will. As I've said before, and I will say it again, that this channel is all about you. I live stream a lot. I live stream 4 to 5 times a week. It's my favorite thing to do. It's not the greatest thing for the algorithm, but I've done okay. I want to continue doing that. And part of what I am going to be doing in the future is getting you guys on more. So I want to get, I hate to say smaller channels, starting channels who are starting up. I want to get other channels on here on my Friday night show, and there'll be a tier on my Patreon, which will be very affordable. We'll say like $5, where you can recommend a topic and you can debate me on it, or we can just talk about it, and it'll be part of the Friday night podcast. That's going to be one of the tiers that on that. So we hear more from you guys. That's instead of it being a call-in show, because I would never want to do a call-in show. But I would like to have you guys on. And August 1st, Hangouts is over, and if it switches to Meetup, well, Meetup is actually pretty good. Right now it's a pay app, and you can have a lot of people on, which would be cool. Which would be it would be a lot like Discord, except you could see people. Yeah, I would love to get them on. But as I was saying, the focus is you guys. We've had guests on before, and it's, I'm not going to rule it out, but it's not a major priority. It's something that's cool, but I want to feel free to say what I like, and you don't want to be rude to guests, but I want to be free to say what I like. It's nice. Mr. T, for $5. Love the channel, bro. Orville rocks. About Disney Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. 12 shops and only one ride. The Force really is female. LOL. Thank you. And Nordry for £2. Did you have a chance to check out Carnival Row? I did not. And 2 bids that dropped. Okay, I'm going to make sure. Did this go backwards? Oh, my Lord. Hang on just a second. Okay. Like Lord of the Rings, they cannot put Dune in one film. Impossible, says Sadokar 7th Legion. Agreed. I don't know. You guys recommend how many films should Dune be? I was watching Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring last night as I was dozing off. I can watch that movie constantly. It never gets old for me. Kyle John, thanks again for the £2, Sadokar. It's good to see you, my friend. Kyle Johnston for $2. Remake Back to the Future. For the future. Ugh. No, please don't. Please don't. That is Kyle Johnston. Thank you. Please don't make, I think, what is it? Zemeckis said that's untouchable, and I respect him for that. Leave Back to the Future alone. It belongs or in its timeline. I love all three movies. I actually like the third one quite a bit. I know a lot of people don't, but I love the third one. My PKD series premieres on Amazon Prime this year. It says time traveling registered trademark. That is cool. I want to see it. For working the chats every day through you, have friends in town with you and a ton of events to attend. Yes. I read that one last night. But again, I like talking to you guys. I'm sorry I haven't live streamed more, to be honest with you. All right. I think if I missed any, again, I will check them out now. I got to get to the current ones, and then we'll get back to the chat. And this is a very casual stream, everybody. I'm chilling. Eskimo Phono for $1.99. Here we go. Yes, here we go. Gamer Gambit, $2. I already have Hulu and look forward to it. Agree. I have Hulu too, and my feeling is network television is dying, but not everybody can afford, a million streaming services. I think the average person will be able to will be willing to pay for 3. That's my guess. Maybe 4. I will subscribe to all of them for the channel, but if I wasn't doing the channel, it would be 3. So it'd be Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon. And I just wait for anything else. And if something premiered on something else, I would just pay for it the next day. If I even watch television, I'm not, The Orville was the only show on network television I watched that wasn't Ancient Aliens or something like that. But that's on basic cable. That's not even on network. Solving Forex for 99 cents. Thank you very much. I appreciate the donation. Gamer Gambit for $2. Orville is the future for nerds like us. Rock on. Yes. Oh, and I do need to pass on. Somebody suggested last night, pass on, if the Orville does get big enough, having like a permanent Orville experience. Those things are tremendously expensive. That's why they had to get rid of the Star Trek experience, which is too bad. It just wasn't bringing in enough people. This was in the early 2000s. When did it stop? I can't remember what year it shut down. It was like $50 to ride the Borg 4D ride, which was great. And they're bringing back the Borg. They're bringing back the Borg. Oh my God. Hey, part of the channel is we get criticism. I put myself out there. I get criticism. That's fine. I just want, if anybody's keeping score, if they're just watching me, I'm sure I share an insider with a couple of more YouTube channels. A lot of what this insider has said has come into fruition through this trailer. I'm just going to say, especially with the Borg returning, and we didn't hear about Section 31, I don't think. I'll lay it out in my breakdown, but that's going to be in there as well. It's going to be curious if this is really going to be taken from, it doesn't look like it's taken from Countdown anymore, which was the Star Trek prequel, because there's a couple of inconsistencies within the trailer from that comic book, which I will point out. So I'm not sure if it's based on that or not, or it's just loosely based on it. But then I remembered I don't care. Gerard, $123, $1.99. Gary, you are one cool dude. Thanks. Well, you are too. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I try. I don't consider myself very cool, though. Neither does my family. Michael Maloney, $2. That was from yesterday, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. I was making sure I covered all my bases, Michael. Yeah, it's turning into a busy week. My little sister, who I haven't seen in a long time, is in town, so hopefully I get to see her at some point today or tomorrow. Jeremy and I have talked about we might go out to Bombay Beach, go out to the Salton Sea tomorrow, venture out there and check out the bazaar. If any of you are not aware, there is a place east of San Diego called the Salton Sea, and it's a giant sea that was made by accident. They were trying to divert water from the Colorado River, and they made this giant sea in the middle of the desert. And they tried to put a Palm Springs like town out there, and it didn't work out. And it's a bizarre ghost town. And there's also a great movie called Salton Sea with Val Kilmer, one of my favorite all-time movies, by the way. And it has the best reenactment of, I know this sounds terrible, of the Kennedy assassination with chickens, remote control train, and yeah, it just needs to be seen. And Vincent D'Onofrio. Any word on weekly or all at once? Read The Expanse from Peter Ruan from 2 Pounds. My guess is it's weekly because the promo, the 5-minute promo at the end said, I mean, this is just my assumption. It said 12/13/2019 New Terra. So it named a specific episode. I'm thinking they heard the call on that one. I'm thinking they listened, which is well done, Expanse. Now, the Expanse production team not going to acknowledge me. I don't think they like a lot of what I do on the channel, which is fine. Again, I'm here for you. But I support the show. I fully support the show as long as it doesn't go full woke. And what I saw of the trailers, I am very excited. That is what the rare good thing in entertainment, but it's just a trailer. And I'll say the same thing about Picard. The Picard trailer was better than anything Star Trek Discovery has produced. I will say that right now. As far as like editing, the trailer was fine. They did a good job with what they were given. It's just the plot points within the trailer. I guessed them, and I shouldn't be able to guess them. I am a very, very simple salt of the earth person and I'm not a writer. I don't pretend to be a writer. I've never wanted to be a writer. And if I can guess your plot, it means you're very predictable. And well, it's Alex Kurtzman. And before we go, we're going to go over Alex Kurtzman's IMDb. Let's do that for fun, shall we? So yes, The Expanse is looks damn good. Looks damn good. They look like they upped the ante. They look like they got their budget up. Plus, you know, it's 4 great actors playing very likable characters. It's very important to have that. I'm a Holden fan. I like Stephen Straight's Holden. I think he plays him perfectly. I'm a Naomi fan. Naomi Nagata is not a Mary Sue. She's got flaws. She's a person, a human being within the narrative of the show, and it's great. And so is Bobby. And Bobby edges go crazy. She's like this far away. She's got some flaws too, and she's a cool character so far. Depends on what they do with the show, but they're making huge changes from the books. I watched the trailer again last night. They're making major changes from the book. So Word of Wolf is going to be pissed. And listen, if I think part of my view on The Expanse is I watched the show first. I watched the first 2 seasons before I read the books. So that probably has a lot to do with my point of view on it. If I had read the books first, I might feel differently. It's always good to kind of watch the show first, in my opinion. I'm firing Hollywood. They've killed all my heroes. Says Nunya Business for $2. They did. And I was very discouraged to see. Okay, so Jeremy and I were in front of Con, and we were right at the gas lamp quarter, right at the opening there, and that's where all the there's this like hardcore fundamentalist Christian guy who's there every year, quoting some scripture. And listen, the guy gets so much crap, and I have to give him all the respect in the world for he stands on his little chair and tells everybody they're going to burn in hell. It's funny as hell. So there was like a couple of guys dressed as like dead clowns or whatever giving him crap, and then some kid walks up dressed up like, oh, I'm forgetting his name, from Live and Let Die, top hat and everything, and he's carrying a sign that says kill your heroes. I didn't like that. I know he was trying to be edgy and stuff, but that's kind of what Hollywood is doing right now. And I'm like, I've never liked what's behind that. Kill your heroes. It sounds a lot like kill the past, let it die. Sounds like nihilism, which has creeped into our storytelling, which is supposed to be fun, thrilling adventures. And now it's just dark and gritty, and we want to, see Batman's wang, and we gotta, we want to see Batman jilted at the altar so he can get completely, I'm sorry, this is a very crass term, but cucked by Catwoman. And yeah, and we want to see depressed Batman, and everybody's sad, and Jake Skywalker, and I'm afraid that's what they're going to do to Picard. Have you ever been a stranger to yourself? I don't know. Have you ever been a tourist to yourself? I don't know. But nihilism and postmodern storytelling is boring. It's freaking boring, and it's easy. It's the most basic form of storytelling there is. To make everything dark is easy. It's easy to give somebody a bad father, which is boring as hell. Substance abuse problems in the background. I mean, do something different. Or abuse as a child. It's like, why can't we just have a person who's maybe got a few normal flaws, and they just go through this extraordinary thing, and we follow them? Because we've lost the everyman, every man or woman, and we replace them with trying to be specific with so many damn characters, because everybody's got to see themselves in every damn thing they do. Well, make fan fiction then. Please go somewhere and make fan fiction and satisfy yourself. It's masturbatory. It's freaking okay, I'm off my soapbox now. All Out of Bubblegum, $5. Good morning, Gary. What happened last night? Was it aliens, or did you run off because Disney's secret police are coming after you? Yes, they shut me down. It was CBS and Disney combined. No. So every day I can't pay for a week. Every day I have to go and get a code for the $4.99 extra internet here at the fabulous 2-star Motel 6 that I'm staying at, because nothing but the best for Nerdrotic. I'm also cheap. I got to stay in San Diego, pretty close to con, for $1,000 for 5 days. That's unheard of. And I don't care where I sleep. Me and the bed bugs are just great. They tell me stories at night. It's very entertaining. No, it just cut off. That's all. Fizzenthorpe for $5. And Gary, any negative feedback from people at the con, meaning people who don't like you or Jeremy's channels talking trash? Not a single word. Nothing. The only thing I got was a scowl from Zoe Quinn. And I that is badge of honor. That was badge of honor. But it wasn't just I'm going to try to mimic what she did, because it wasn't just a passing glance or what's up. And maybe she just didn't like the look of my face. I mean, that's fine. I can I understand that. But I walked up, and I'm walking in the where the exhibitors have to go in, and I look up, and there's Zoe Quinn staring me right in the face. She goes, it was like that long. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, I guess I won't be one of her 5 then. Thank God. Oh, I'd rather watch The Lion King 10 times. Michael Maloney. Yeah, but not a single person. Nobody. That's why I want to tell my, what happened to Jeremy from the quartering was a real thing. That was effed up. But he just found some random alcoholic psychopath. And I mean, you want to keep your head in a swivel, but no, nothing like that at all. Everything was positive. I would say Jeremy and I were stopped, 6 times, maybe 5 or 6. We were stopped a couple times at Disneyland, and it was very positive. Got to meet some people's families, got some kind words, shook some hands, took some pictures. It was cool. It was very cool. And but no, yeah, nobody's said anything. But that could be different at Star Trek. It could be very different at Star Trek. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm not worried about anything. I got Mrs. Nerdrotic with me in Las Vegas. Nobody wants to fuck with Mrs. Nerdrotic. Tell you that right now. Michael Maloney for $10. With all great books out there, take a risk, make something new. The Bolo series, and that's Bolo. John Ringo's Through the Looking Glass. SM Serling's Dies the Fire series. Yeah, like I said, Michael Maloney is the reader of the group. He is the reader. Definitely, there's plenty of good books. There's plenty of good books to adapt, but Hollywood doesn't even want to take a chance on those anymore. They really don't, which is sad because that's where they used to mine their best material. They're going to comics, but they're going to all the wrong comics. I mean, listen, the MCU has 50 years of stuff they could, the Kree Skrull War, they could adapt. There is a Secret Wars, Contest of Champions. There's a million things they can do, and they're going to fast forward to female Thor. Well, that's the end, folks. How's the meme go from Game of Thrones? Now it tends. Tower of Joy, young Eddard Stark. That's what it sounds like. He says now it ends, but it sounds like now it tends. Chris Stanley, $5. Thanks for all the coverage this week, Gary. You are welcome, Chris. I wish you all were here. I would much rather have this giant meetup where we can just nerd out, watch Lord of the Rings in the background. I'll drink coffee. You guys can drink all the booze you want. That'd be great. Force Ghost Jeremy, what's up, Force Ghost Jeremy, for £5. Hello there. So if you were stuck on an island and could only take one Star Trek episode movie to watch, one, which would you choose from and why? Oh, it would be an original series episode. My favorite episode, and I cannot tell you why. I can't, is the Tholian Web. I would take the Tholian Web. I love that episode. That's the first, you know what? That's the first one I remember watching when I was a kid. So that would be my episode. Yes. And Kirk, Ghost Kirk, would be great. I know it's the one with Kirk in it the least. But that's what I would take. And why? Because it was the first one I watched, enjoyed, and there's something that spoke to me about that show, and I just watched it constantly. I mean, it didn't hurt that there was nothing else on. And yeah, it was that in the Twilight Zone and cartoons. Geek Cam, £5. Keep BBC. I am sure that as big names, it will suck. If it's from the BBC, you're right, Geekam. Nothing that they produce right now will be good because it'll be overly politicized, partisan, and basic. The BBC used to be better. They used to be better than most American TV. They used to be a lot more fun and take a lot more chances. They had better actors. I mean, everything with the storytelling was better. Everything was better from the BBC, in my opinion, of the stuff I liked. I mean, Doctor Who, Tennant's era of Doctor Who, there's the classic series, which would never get made by an American, anybody in America. And then there was the new series, which would never get made by anybody in America, and not in that way. So props to the UK for that. I wish you would go back to that. We need, listen, I love Douglas Adams. I know what side of the aisle he would be on nowadays. So yeah, Thanks for taking my advice on Bombay Beach, says Art Fusco for $2. Yeah, if we can make time, I want to go out there. We can do a photo shoot. Peter Ford for $3.99. I would vacay once a year at an Enterprise hotel. I would too. It was the Hilton. Yeah, it was the Hilton in Vegas. It's not even, the hotel's not even there anymore. April T for, thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. We did. Melissa and I went out there at the very least once a year, sometimes twice a year. I used to go to Vegas 4 times a year. It was my thing to do, especially in the first marriage. I was doing it quite a bit. Now I did not cheat. But I just like to hang out with the guys. We went around and gambled horribly. Maybe went to a couple of establishments where just a couple of establishments back when going to strip joints was a thing. Yes, I go to strip joints. Mrs. Neurotic used to like to go to those too. April T, $20. Gary, you're awesome. Thank you, April. I don't go to those things anymore though. Just nah. And only in Vegas. Sailor Bob for $5. Do you have extended family living in Hawaii? I served with your doppelganger on the USS Chaffee. No, I don't know my dad, Sailor Bob. So I could have a brother out there that I have no idea who he is. I've never met my birth father. I vaguely know where he is. I've never really searched for him since he abandoned my 16-year-old mom when I was a bump. I was a baby bump. But somehow I don't have like dad issues. It's just the thing. They were kids. Big deal. I got over it. You know what? My dad who adopted me was cool as hell. It's a great dad. But maybe. The little sister I'm visiting, I only met her 10 years ago. She is, so when I found my birth mom 10 years ago, I found out I had a little sister, half sister, still sister. Gigi, thanks for the $1. I appreciate it. Daniel, $10. Orville, don't change a thing. Stay true to your vision. Sick of modern cussing. Didn't mind Hulu. Listening to Witcher audio, also pretty good. 3 Max streaming. Not a fan of the later Expanse books. After book 5, it's really iffy for me as well. I liked the last one. I did not like book 7 at all. And yeah, they make some narrative changes in the later books that they cannot do in the show, Daniel. So we don't have to worry about that because without spoiling much, the main crew kind of gets put to the side. And what's the best book? It's when they finally focus, they give you perspective chapters on every member of the crew. And it's only one book that they do that. Scaro Trek, $2. Picard trailer was depressing. Zombie TNG Voyager show. Yes. Oh, that's a great description there, Scaro Trek. I like that. I'll give you credit for that in my video. That's exactly what it felt like. That data image looks, they really shouldn't have put that in there. They should not have put that. They should have done a little more work on it. Thinned up his face or something. It looked really disturbing. I took a good look at it last night. I'm like, oh. And I still am sticking to my statement that Jerry Hall was called in for 5 minutes in between a yoga and Pilates class. And she stuck on her little makeup, did some quick lines, and then had to go pick up the kids or something for soccer practice, or whatever. Angel Chavez for $1.99. I live in Indio by the Salton Sea. Fan meetup? Hey, if you want to go and meet us out there, sure, Angel. What's up, Indio, California? Cardinal Sin, $1.99. Hail Nerdrotic. Inquisitor later still on? Yes. Inquisition later still on? Yes. I talked about that in the beginning. It is absolutely still on. I do not miss shows even though I'm on the road. This is a working vacation. So I drank my coffee fast. 6 p.m. tonight on Overlord DVD's channel. If I don't know if even mods are even here, give me just a sec. If they could link Doomcock's channel in, that would be great. Otherwise, search Overlord DVD on YouTube. He'll come up. And make sure you subscribe to Doomcock. He is brilliant. Sean Casey for 20 pounds. Mr. B, how are you? Comic-Con looks great. Bad news, I watched Captain Marvel and loved it. Please don't ban me. No, I don't. LOL, what do you think of the new Picard trailer? Hope it's not building us up for massive letdown. Well, it is, Sean. I'm sorry. I mean, unless Alex Kurtzman, here's what can happen. If Alex Kurtzman is creatively not involved in any way, shape, or form, like he doesn't even get to say what kind of toilet paper is used in the bathroom, maybe it could be good. I mean, I'll try to keep an open mind, but he hasn't produced anything good yet, and nothing approaching good, not even like in the same zip code of good. There was one episode in Star Trek Discovery Season 2 that kind of sort of felt like Star Trek. And then they reverted to whole new levels of suck. So you like Captain Marvel? Hey, listen, here are my feelings on this. If you like something, great. Don't let me ruin it for you. But if I don't like something, don't get on my ass because I don't like it. I don't get on anybody who likes any of this stuff. This might not be the channel for you if you like Star Trek Discovery, because I am going to crap on it constantly. But if you like the Orville, hey, or the Expanse, I like that stuff too. Captain Marvel, I thought was trash. I thought it was terrible. And the main problem is it was horribly miscast. Brie Larson is a bad Captain Marvel, but they chose her on purpose. So they wanted to be annoying. I don't know. I would have cast somebody with charm, and Brie Larson lacks charm. She lacks charisma. She might be good in other things. I haven't seen it. Kong Skull Island, she was there. I mean, it wasn't, she didn't suck in it. But no, Captain Marvel is unwatchable to me. Selena Kyle for $1.99. What were your favorite 1970s Saturday morning cartoons? Well, Super Friends, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, the Spider-Man cartoon that went along with that one without His Amazing Friends, Batman and Robin, anything superhero, Scooby-Doo, of course, Scooby-Doo. And I like the live action Shazam and ISIS. That's all the crap. I just watch that stuff constantly. So there was the ABC morning cartoons, and then on, was it CBS that they had the Roadrunner hour? I watched that constantly. But my favorite was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That was my absolute favorite Saturday morning cartoon. And when I was a kid, unfortunately, I'm so old. I was 20 something morning cartoons, because I was watching, of course, the X-Men was on the afternoon where I lived, but Spider-Man, the animated series, and Iron Man and Fantastic Four would all be on Saturday morning. Thank you, Selena. Chucky Wookie for £1.99. Nice show. Loving your content, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Loving that you're here. Michael Maloney for $2. Captain Marvel was only so-so, and I think that's the majority of people. I think that's what the majority of people say. I don't think it was so-so because of the superficial crap messages that they put in there, which, maybe I'll break down. I've had people go, it's not that woke. Oh, really? Well, I mean, watch Mahler's review. That's the best review of Captain Marvel, the most accurate review of Captain Marvel, in my humble opinion. And that's why it's got like 2 million views. I think it reached a lot of people. with a mostly positive reaction to his review. So I would say that's one of the best. I put one of those out, it'll get 20,000 views, maybe. All right, let's get the chat here. Land of the Lost. Yes, I watched Land of the Lost as well. That was a great show. Sleestacks. Speed Racer for me was on. Space Ghost was cool. Speed Racer was on for me in the afternoon, and then they moved it to like 6 a.m. So I would get up at 5 a.m. as a kid, so I can watch the '60s Spider-Man cartoon because that was the only time they played it, and it was inconsistent when they played it. So it would be the Spider-Man cartoon, Star Blazers, and Speed Racer. That was in the 70s. Cheese Larson's butt double. Yes, a 99 Iron Duke. I agree. Her stunt doubles were better actors. The funny thing is, folks, you would be surprised how many people have reached out to me and Jeremy and other people who work in Hollywood who can't say a damn thing, but would love to. I was surprised how many people have contacted us and reached out and said, yeah. So the Orville, hopefully it doesn't take too long. That's the only thing. I don't, if they stay weekly, it's a huge risk because you are giving up a lot of viewers by moving over to Hulu. That's a huge risk. But I'm sure they have their reasons, and they're probably getting out ahead of it, honestly, because I mean, who knows how long network TV is going to be around? I'm not saying it's going to die like next year, but I think it's got an expiration date at this point. It's massively expensive to run these things, and if you can move everything to streaming, come on. It'd be a lot easier. I was talking when I went on that local show Creature Feature and did an interview. I was talking to the guy who runs the show, and he owns an antenna. It's a fortune to license that thing. Like I don't know how you can possibly afford that. But he showed me something that I totally should use. There is something web-based that I can put my content on, and it will farm it out to public access channels like around the world. And if you do consistent content, and I think if you stay within, especially here in the States, like within FCC rules, like no cussing or anything, and keep it like to a half an hour, I forgot the name of the site. You could post your content on the site, and yeah, some access channel will play it in Louisiana or something like that. I forgot the name. I'll figure out that name. That would be kind of cool. I always wanted to be on public access when I was a kid, but here I am on YouTube. Orville, not really. They have been there from the start on a day delay. Yeah, and I guess they probably, Michael Maloney, I'm sure they looked in and got to peek at the numbers on how many people actually watch it on Hulu. And I had heard, and again, I don't know this at all. I had only heard this, that their digital views and people who were watching the show after it aired equaled or got close to equaling what the overnight was. So that's a good thing, but you're still giving up, guaranteed overnight views. Even if they're low, there's still people who are watching who might not necessarily watch Hulu. What the percentage is, I don't know. But it is absolutely a concern, and we want to be concerned, but we want it's out of love for the show. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here, but as long as it's weekly, I'm okay with it because I had Hulu anyway. And Robert Smith says the Orville should stay on Fox, and that's going to be the next Cure album. He's going to do a concept album about the Orville on Fox. So we miss Robert Smith and The Cure. Wayne's World, party time, excellent. Yes. Oh, I loved Wayne's World. Hey, I was in Sideshow. Maybe I can show you the picture. And they had a Bill and Ted 1/6 scale set with the phone and oh God, it was so cool. Hang on, let me show it to you. Yeah, I took some selfies with the Mocklin and they were blurry. I suck at taking pictures. Oh, by the way, this is I'm going to get this for Jeremy for Christmas. You notice that Captain Marvel has the smirk. And then there was this too. Me and Bree. Me and my girl. Jeremy met the girl who from the Ahsoka fan film. That was pretty cool. And this is all they were showing at the MCU panel or booth was A-Force. And where is the Bill and oh my God, I didn't get a good picture of it. There was a guy, his best costume I've ever seen at con. So he was an 80s arcade game that was out of order, but the screen was still playing and he was rolling around in this thing. It was so cool. Now I took this picture. This is what I'm going to get Anna, that Star Wars girl, for Christmas. I know she wants a giant Ben Affleck looking over her every day. Batfleck. I don't know if you got. Oh, here, I'll get it the other way, and you guys can maybe see this. Here, let me get the screen up. There. You can see my light. That is cool as hell. I need this. The phone, everything. That is just brilliant. Well done, Sideshow. By the way, Sideshow, available for sponsorships. Available. 1-in-1 scale prop replicas are my favorite. They would look really good. I mean, I don't know if they've seen my office, but it would look really good in my office. Is there anything else on? No, that's Galaxy's Edge. I got a Galaxy's Edge panorama shot that looks terribly empty. I don't know if I can. No, but that one, the thumbnail on the Galaxy's Edge, I took that picture, so that's not like me randomly. Just the thing is, when you walk in, the aisle or whatever is really open. So yeah, but that, like, this picture right here, I took that picture. That's walking in the Galaxy's Edge. I know it looks terrible. Sorry, but that's the way it goes. If you can see the panorama shot, completely empty. Is it true that the comics Jane Foster became Thor to save herself from cancer? I heard it was a good storyline, but the movie will still suck. Jason Aaron's storyline was popular with some Penn Farm Girl. Very good comic book writer for the most part. And some people, yeah, it sold well. It was one of the few all new, all different Marvel things that sold well for a time. But if they try to adapt it, well, see, that's why comic book films are almost they're unadaptable, even more so than films, and there are on a single book, because that storyline went over a year, maybe more. There's no way you can fit that into 2 hours. And are people going to be totally okay with a depowered Chris Hemsworth, who's not the focus in his own movie? Or people, I mean, you saw Natalie Portman standing next to Chris Hemsworth. She's a hobbit. She's a hobbit. Here, let me get you a picture, which is going to be the thumbnail of my video. Un momento. There it is. I mean, the look on her face says everything you need to know about this one. That's about how we feel. There we go. And there she is. Yep. So Thor starring Natalie Portman. And it's going to have Tessa Thompson playing Tessa Thompson in that film as well. So, yeah. There we go. That's from the Metro. Gamer Gambit for $5. Watched Orville on Hulu from the start. Watched all series 1 and 2 and at least 4 times. Also shared it with friends who have Hulu and they watch it there too. Great. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. But and that's good. We want honest feedback here. We want honest. I mean, if you're not happy with the decision, voice your opinion, please. Or anything. I mean, yeah, don't ever hold back here. Come on. Just keep it, keep it somewhat cordial. Somewhat. It doesn't have to be totally cordial. Thank you, Penn Farm Girl, for the $5, by the way. Gamer Gambit, thank you for the $5. And let's get, I'll get to the chat here. I need to close that window. Too many windows open here. This is not good. And I have like very limited, I've got a sideways desk I'm working with here. Pete for $5. All this traveling can be cheap. I just wanted to chip in a little, or can't be cheap. I just want to chip in a little to keep the Nerdrotic train rolling. Have a good one. Well, thanks, Pete. I appreciate the $5. The train is going to keep the train kept a rolling all night long. Let's get to the chat here. She should at least work out to look the part, look like she had no muscles. Generiel, that is key, because if you do look at the female Thor, she's pretty yoked. She's got time to work out, but yeah. It's called Star Blazers. Yes. Did I say I might have misspoke, but I meant Star Blazers if I was talking about it earlier. Yes, Star Blazers. Battleship Yamato. Oh, I gave Jane your hammer. Somebody pointed out last night the hammer's destroyed, so maybe they got it at a time. Who knows? The comic was dumb. Just rewatched Terminator some nights ago. Still almost perfection. The soul of the 80s will never be equalized. No, Venom Broly, it will not. It will not, because we're not there anymore, and we are in a bizarre time that Hollywood generally, they don't feel they need to change their ways at all. Everything is rolling just great with them. They don't feel the need to shift back in the middle, and we just need to stop buying their crap then when they do that. It's that simple. Just stop. If you feel insulted as a viewer, even for a moment within a show, if you feel like a show or a narrative has broken to insult you for a moment because some writer in Hollywood can't keep his or her politics to themselves within a script, and it shows how overly obsessed they are with that stuff, by the way. I mean, who thinks about that crap that much? For one, yeah, especially when you're a creative. Like, concentrate on your job. I mean, you're lucky to have it. Or you've worked that hard to have it. Why would you risk screwing it up because you spurg out once in a while? Without respect, we reject. Exactly. Alan Massey says female Thor will never get made. All the woke before it will fail, and they will rethink it after Solo. This is Disney now, not Marvel. Yes. Yeah. And it's making me rethink like how much power, unless Kevin Feige all of a sudden felt like all new, all different, which completely failed in the comic books, is going to work for the MCU because they're the MCU. We could make these stories better than they were in the comics. Really? Because the comics had more time to tell the stories and people still didn't like them. So if you edit these things down to the Cliff Notes version, it's just Cliff Notes of crap. Thank you, Alan. AKA Blonde at $5. Love the Orville. Please don't make me buy another service and don't make me wait until 2020. None of us is getting any younger. Well, I mean, it aired this year. So, I mean, that's a normal break. We don't want to wait until 2021. Well, it aired. When did it end? I can't remember now. It ended earlier this year, right around the same time Star Trek Discovery did. But they're making you wait like a year and a half. That's probably going to become pretty common with more expensive shows. I still don't recommend it. I know these people need breaks and stuff, but your show doesn't last forever. It's not like you're going to be working this job for 50 years. It's going to be 5 to 7 years of your life. Yeah, bust a little ass. Bust a little ass. I know it's easy for me to say, but when I ran my comic shop for 10 years, I didn't take any breaks. I didn't take any vacations. Every trip I took was business related. I worked 7 days a week for a decade for not a lot of money. Believe me. Time for Buffy and Alien remakes with male leads. Yes, let's do it. I haven't seen it yet, Joseph. He asked, how is the Orville comic book that recently came out any good? I'm going to try to grab one today when I go down there. I'm going to try to find it. That's one of the things I'm going to do. Get my hands on one. I think it's probably at the Dark Horse booth. I imagine I'll be able to find it at the Dark Horse booth. Mega Jetty 1, what's up? Hey, dude, love Orville. Hate it moving to Hulu, though. There you go. Thanks, Mega Jetty. Thank you for the $2. By the way, they might be watching. You never know who's watching, folks. Ryan, £5. I'll try again. Any truth to the rumors of Babylon 5 reboot? Did you ask before? I have not heard anything. The last thing I heard about Babylon 5 was from Robert Meyer Burnett's live stream, where he said that the people who own the rights to it won't reboot it ever because they have to. It has something to do with some brouhaha after the show aired. And there's some argument between some people, which tends to ruin things for everybody. So, yeah, unless you guys, I'll look it up though, but I haven't heard anything. Charles Benoit, thank you for the $1 donation. I greatly appreciate it. Glinzer for $5. Hollywood loves revamps. Maybe they'll revamp Sex in the City with 4 men trying to bang every woman that crosses their path. Yeah, I don't think so. That would be funny. You can call it City of Sex. TJ Paris, $5. The only way female Thor works on screen visually is if they body swap Portman with Gina Carano. Yeah. Which they might do. Just a time when Hollywood ran amok. Yeah, that we are in that time, Cardinal Sin. Thank you for the $1.99. The spinning wheel of woke continues and we lose, says Larry for $1.99 every time. Never bet on woke. Fizenthorpe for $2. Hollywood is forcing a square peg into a round hole. Yes, but they continue to do that, and they just broke out Thor's hammer to pound it in. Oh, you like that? Pound it in. To keep doing the Fandom Menaces work, love the content. Can't wait for the next hangout. Obi-Wan 27883. Yes, Tuesday night at the Ould Sod, OULDSOD, Tuesday, 6-7 p.m. Jeremy, I think Jesse, and I will be there. I'm staying an extra day. Not entirely sure how Mrs. Nerdrotic feels about that. But yeah, an extra day. Oh, man, I've got a bunch of work to do too. I'm going to dig into that Picard trailer. I'm going to dig in. That I might be up very late going over frame by frame on that thing. Swift for $5. The Lady Thor was a mystery for months. That's why they did it well. It showed from everyone else trying to figure out who this woman was. MCU won't do it. No. Well, we already know. And it's done so late now. So they might have been ahead of the curve when they told the original story, but now they're doing it in Hollywood. They're just another character being swapped to a female. And when it's been done this much, it's just playing itself out. And that's what Hollywood does. They burn trends they just grind them into the ground into a fine powder. And it can't happen soon enough. It can't end soon enough. Please. I don't even want to watch it, to be honest with you. Finding the good in the She-Thor comic is really like reminiscing on the fun during a divorce. It's just lying to yourself. It was an excuse for politics, Daniel. Well said. I'm going to try to reminisce the fun of my divorce. 2 years after it ended, that's when things started getting fun again. What a miserable experience. Babylon 5 got into a brouhaha with DS9, says Michael Malone for $2. Maybe, but it's something else. It's something besides that. I'm sure there was that too. But there's something else. I can't remember what Robert Meyer Burnett said. There was some the people who own the rights got pissed off at Straczynski for something. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know what I would like? I would like Babylon 5 to just get remastered, and that put your money into that. That would be brilliant because I want to watch a remastered version. I'm making sure I didn't miss any here. Give me just a moment. Ryan. Oh, Ryan, for 10 pounds. There it is. There has been rumors of a Babylon 5 reboot. Any truth to this? Well, let me see. Let's take a look. I mean, everything else is getting Babylon 5 reboot in works. Snyder is what? This is Crude Reviewers. I don't know who crudereviewers.net are. It must be is it like an Onion? Yeah, this is this total Onion like article. So following it is Babylon 5 revival won't ever happen, insists series creator. He compares studios to monkeys. I will read this to you. And this is kind of what Burnett was saying. It may seem like practically everything is getting a revival nowadays, but one classic show that won't be coming back is Babylon 5. The sci-fi show, which ran from 1993 to 1998, was set on a space station in the future and was acclaimed for pushing visual effects on TV and focusing on themes such as racial and political tensions, religion, and various other pressures in society. It seems like the perfect kind of show for a reboot, but creator J. Michael Straczynski, who has said that will never happen. The reason why? The studios, of course. In a series of tweets, the writer explained that Warner's controls the TV and all the other rights, but not the movie rights. I have those, but without access to the TV rights, it's been very difficult to get anyone at another studio to want to commit to anything. They want all of the rights under one roof. When asked if Warner Brothers will do anything with the IP, he said, "They literally told my agent we have no plans and no intentions of letting anything else be done in terms of television with Babylon 5. That means no Blu-ray or digital HD remastering either." Straczynski adds that Warner Brothers' ownership of the rights won't ever expire, and they wouldn't sell them to another studio. They won't sell, he added, because if they were to do well elsewhere, it would embarrass them. And studios don't let out IPs. So they're like a monkey with its fist around a nut in a jar. It can't pull it out and it won't let it go. And if that's not sad enough, the cast don't make money from the DVD sales or residuals either. Maybe someone needs to show Warner Brothers our digital spy poll on the best ever site. Digital Spy. You were influential in 2011. I don't think that's going to move the needle with Warner Brothers. I'm sorry to say. Not happening. Unfortunately, that is your news, and that is pretty definitive. And that's what Robert Meyer Burnett was talking about. Somebody pissed off somebody at Warner Brothers, and as long as the people know the people who feel offended or pissed off are still around, it ain't happening. And that's why the studios suck. Any thoughts on Dan and Dave skipping Comic-Con? MB for $1.99. Complete pussies. That's my thoughts. But of course they're not going to go. You love the praise, can't handle the criticism. Hollywood's going to be a very tough place to work in the future if you can't handle that. You got to try to, I don't know, work with people, work with the fans. The fans are not something you can shut out anymore. Those days are long effing gone. So you work with them, or you work against them like Rian Johnson, and you have a really hard life. You have a really hard life because wherever Rian goes, until he apologizes, people are going to dog the guy because he was an asshole online. People who are not assholes online, and listen, fans can be assholes too. I can be an asshole too. If you're creative, you're getting paid millions, thousands, hundreds of thousands. Blow it off, man. Just like let it go. Let it go. Let people have their say. Move on. The discussion's over at that point. But if you want to engage, that's on you, mate. It's going to be a tough thing. So Dan and Dave are going to go do a Star Wars trilogy. And my guess is they didn't see anything. There's no advantage to be gained by going to Comic-Con and possibly getting some uncomfortable questions that might make them look bad for Star Wars, which has obviously been their focus for the last couple of years, not the show that made them famous. But now they are forever going to be known as the guys who didn't deliver. That's it. I mean, that's your legacy. You don't get to choose it. History chooses it for you. I only need the DVDs. Forget Blu-ray, says me. I would like to have Blu-rays, but oh well. We all know Ruby Rose skipped to avoid criticism. Same thing. Although, I mean, this would have been the safest place for her to come, to be honest with you. I don't think she would have gotten any. I think she skipped mainly because they're reshooting this hot mess, because you saw in that little teaser trailer, which I'm going to do another video on because Warner Brothers decided to copyright strike me. So I'll do one that's completely safe, that they can't copyright strike. And we'll go frame by frame over that. And we'll talk about the lines she delivered, and she couldn't do an American accent in one line. I'm guessing that might have something to do with, running a little late with production and not being able to take the time to fly 1,000 miles. You can do this in one day. You can fly to Vancouver and back in one day and make a 2-hour, 4-hour appearance. She didn't have to go to both panels, just go to one. But she didn't. Leave B5. It's a finite story. Anything added will just take away from the story. Look at Star Wars. Exactly. Capture Renegade. I agree with that. Leave it alone. Make something new. The MCU going down faster than a cheap hooker. It's DC time to shine. However, Birds of Prey doesn't look like an auspicious start. No, it's not. I think it's actually a starting in the wrong direction. I thought DC was turning around, and I think they were, but now that Jar Jar Abrams is anywhere near that building, bye-bye. Release the Snyder Cut. Jacob King, $1.99. I really like the first 4 seasons of Babylon 5. Cool. Jared Presley, $2. I was hoping for Moon Knight or She-Hulk someday. Yeah, instead we're getting the Eternals and She-Thor. So now I'm convinced there is some rights issues with She-Hulk. This is just based on the rights issues with Hulk. She must be tied in with the Universal rights, because to not do a She-Hulk is ridiculous, and not do a Moon Knight. There you go. Did you like Troy Legacy? I really liked the movie. Felt it had a great story, but apparently most people didn't like it. I didn't see it. Cracklin. Should I check it out? I will. All right, we're going to end this one, folks. It's noon. I am going to go meet Jeremy for Comic-Con. I think, let's see where he is. Let's see where he's at. Boom, boom. And yeah, so I'm going to head down for a couple hours. If anybody's down there, go on down there. Say hi. And then I'm going to come back and get ready for the Inquisition, work on a couple videos. That's probably going to be my day. Work. It's been a great time. I've had a great time. I'm going to go down there, see if there's any last things I could buy, and hang out with Jeremy for a couple hours. We'll do a car video. That's right. And yeah, also I'll see you tonight on Overlord DVD's channel, 6 p.m. Pacific time. The Inquisition, and it's going to be a damn good one tonight. So be sure to tune in. This one will be on the website in a couple, 3 hours, maybe later today. I'm going to unlist it afterwards, but I'm going to keep last night's on because that was fiery last night. So that was fiery. So thank you, Pen Farm Girl. Thank you for being here with the wrench. And we will all have a great day, right? We're all going to have a great day. Beltalowdas. That's right, Tim F. Beltalowdas. Go Expanse. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.